The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
I want to say up front, what you're about to see is not an attack piece, I promise. It's not sensationalism. It is more of a buyer beware piece. And I've looked into this situation, and it is true. Some of you watching are going to not like what you hear. You won't. Others, just bear with me, please. And you decide for yourself how you feel at the end of the story. Now, also at the end of the video, we'd like to know if you want to hear more stories like this one. Let us know in the comments. I love doing these kinds of stories. It's what I really enjoy sinking my teeth into, but we want to know what you think. Also, if the manufacturer who is going to be mentioned here would like equal airtime, we are totally open to it. We really are. All right. I want you to imagine this. You work your whole life. You dream of that perfect RV, the perfect motorhome, a custom motorhome maybe. You and your wife or you and your husband, you're going to travel. You're going to enjoy your golden years, right? You do your shopping. You want to make sure the motorhome that you buy is built by a company who is solid as a rock, a company who'll do everything possible to make your retirement dream come true. You find what you think is the perfect motorhome and the perfect manufacturer. You go to the factory, you have it custom built. Takes you 6 months, back and forth, and finally, everything's perfect. You go and pick up your RV. It is beautiful. Only problem, less than a week after owning it, you find out that something is terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. That is a scenario you're about to learn about. So joining me today from the great state of Wisconsin are those dreamers who bought a customized brand new motorhome, Ken and Linda Smith. Thank you. Thank you both for agreeing to visit with us.
Hi.
So did I hit the high spots in that little intro, or what did I miss?
No, you did. You want me to talk?
Yeah, go. Okay. As I said, I'm going to tee it up, and then you guys hit it, and tell us about yourselves. And I understand you're not new to the RV world.
Right. Okay. This is Linda, the boss, and I'm Ken. And we've been RVing for about 12 years. And through a process of doing that for 12 years, about 5 years ago, we learned real fast. Well, not real fast, but it took quite a long time to understand the weight that you can carry in an RV, and looking into that and seeing how dangerous it is. Every vehicle made, cars, trucks, everything, and RVs have a gross vehicle weight sticker. It's a federal sticker on there, and it says how much you can carry with that. That's the maximum you can carry with anything you put in it: passengers, water, groceries, anything. Okay. Yes. So just keep that in mind. And anyway, we know that with RVing, because about 70 to 78% of all accidents on the motorhome, and I can't remember the percentage of deaths, are caused from overweight trailers or motorized RVs. But when they're overweight like that, they can have axle breaks, a lot of flat tires. I'm sure you've seen yourself going down the interstate highways where you've seen a lot of them over your lifetime rolled over to the side or on fire or anything like that. So
yeah, the gross vehicle weight is a really, really important number to know. That's for sure.
Yes, correct. And anyway, with that in mind, we looked at major manufacturers like Winnebago and others. And they didn't really have anything in our price range that would carry the type of weight we wanted to carry, which was approximately or right at 2,000 pounds, not approximate, but we wanted at least 2,000 pounds. Because, the first 10 years, 8 years, 10 years, we got in the habit of weighing everything, weighing the tools, weighing the pots and pans, the grills, everything you take with you. And then you also got to understand you take water with you, and that's 8.3 pounds a gallon. So with that in mind, we added up stuff, and we figured to be comfortable, and our trips went from, a few days out on a weekend to after we retired, we start going 1 week to 2 months. You can do that when you're retired. Therefore, you're going to take more clothes with you. You're going to take more items with you. And if it happens to be around a holiday, you might even bring home some presents, and you got to have the weight to carry that.
So you wanted 2,000 pounds. You wanted a buffer of 2,000 pounds in the motorhome that you were going to buy. You decided to get one custom built because you couldn't find the right floor plan, or?
Right. Well, we had one custom built at Nexus in Indiana. Being a company that you could buy directly from the factory, we thought we'd give that a try, and they claimed to build your dream, and they had the floor plan we liked. You know, it had double slide out, so it made your living room area really wide, like you're sitting at home. You invest that kind of money, you know, you want to get what you pay for.
Yeah.
But we also had the need to carry the weight. So we talked a lot about weight from day one, and we got into it. We did, you know, some of the design, because we picked an existing floor plan, but you add different things or custom thing, you customize it. And from day one, we always talked about water. We know water weighs that much. So if you got a big tank on there, like this one did, 75 gallons, it's roughly 650 pounds, 630, right. 650 pounds of water.
And so that comes out from and hang on, kid, that 600 and plus pounds comes off the 2,000 that you were wanting. And that gives you some buffer, right, to carry more weight.
Right, correct.
Okay,
correct.
Got it.
And if that's what we ended up with, we would only carry half water, which most people do. You don't fill up and then drive miles with that kind of weight. At 300 pounds, if you carried half that water, that would account for our weight, not telling you how much we weigh. Mm-hmm. But so anyway, we ordered it, and throughout the whole process, from the day we ordered it, it was always come up about water, because all other manufacturers out there, that yellow federal sticker, all of them say does not include full water. It doesn't include water, I should say. So whatever it says it can carry, you have to add water to that.
Right.
Nexus, on the other hand, said we weigh all our RVs with full water. So when it says you can carry 1,500 pounds, and I know how much water that can hold, I can add that to that amount, which would have gave us 1,500 pounds, and 650 pounds would bring us our 2,000 plus pounds that we wanted.
Okay, hang on, Ken, Linda, hang on just a second. Shemai, bring up the picture if we can. I know we've got a picture of the motorhome you guys bought. It's a beautiful rig. My gosh, Linda, that's a gorgeous motorhome.
Yeah, and if you look at that close, you can see at the bottom of it all those doors on the bottom, and that's the same on both sides with pass-through. You can carry a lot of stuff on there. You have the space to carry a lot of stuff. And the other side's identical, and inside are massive cabinets. That whole front end, you could put your grandkids up there. You know, I mean, it has a lot of room in there to carry stuff. So psychologically, we're saying this is going to be wonderful. Plus, we were told that we'd be able to carry 2,000 plus pounds.
And it was really a lot of storage back in the bedroom area, where you would have a couple wardrobes to hang up clothes. You had 6 drawers that you could put in your clothes that you wanted to fold. You had a nice areas for your dishes and your pots and pans, your silverware, everything that you need, coffee makers. So you're going to cook in these items, in these motorhomes, and you need to bring those supplies with you so that you can cook and live in them comfortably.
Okay, so what went wrong? What happened?
Well, what happened is, you know, as we added things, you know, like we put recliners in instead of a couch, and we would ask how much that weighed. And, you know, we'd find out what it weighed, and then we'd, you know, pass that to the production manager and find out from him, yes, that, you know, this is how much it weighs and it falls within your tolerance. So all the way through this process, it was a goal until halfway through, about 3 months into it. 4 or 5 months into it, out of a 6-month process, we read this magazine article on a well-published magazine, and they interviewed this person that bought one almost identical to ours, and with full water, he could only carry 720 pounds. And we got really worried about that because we hadn't ordered ours yet. We're still looking at it. We're still deciding exactly what we want in it. And so we contacted salesmen and our salesmen and asked them, say, wait, what's wrong with this? I said, and it only can carry 720 pounds. He said, no, that's wrong. He said, yours will carry 1,450 pounds, 1,500 pounds. And I said to him, that article says it's full water. So you're telling me it can carry about 1,500 pounds and full water. And he never denied it. But I said in another email, I said, if it does do that, we will then order it. So order it for us. And this was the process. Okay. So they ordered it. They had many chances to say, you keep saying full water, Ken, and it doesn't have full water, but they never say it didn't. They always told me on the phone, they just never put it in writing.
But every email, hang on a second. Every email that you wrote back to them, what you're saying is that
yes,
you indicated to them that this 2,000 pounds, you needed to carry this much weight, that included the water, but you made it clear that that was your requirement to buy this dream RV.
Right, correct.
Okay, so you buy it, you get it, you do the walkthrough. What happens?
Yeah, we did the walkthrough. We didn't see the federal sticker on it. It's kind of buried on that machine there. So we did the walkthrough, and then we sat down in front of the finance person, Nexus employee, and we asked, how much does it weigh? That was my final protection, find out how much that thing weighed. And they typed it on the screen, showed us the screen, and the screen, if you subtract what it weighed from how much the gross vehicle weighed, it gave us 1,550, which was 100 pounds more than we were told we were going to get, but it gave us 1,550. We looked at each other, and I said to the finance person, does that include full water? And she said, yes, sir. It includes full water. It includes full water, full fuel, and full propane. I said, okay, where do we sign? And we signed it, because we're looking at each other and say 1,550 plus over 600 pounds in water. That gives us way over 2,000 pounds. Okay, that's what it was there. Well, then they wanted us to stay there for 2-3 days and just test everything out. So they parked it back in our parking spot, and we hooked up to everything. And in the process of looking at our beautiful new machine, Linda opens the door on her side, and kind of hidden down towards the bottom was that yellow federal sticker. And that yellow federal sticker says 1,550 carrying capability and doesn't include full water. In other words, you would have to add water. So when you add water, you're taken away from even that 1,550. Right. By the way, it came out that was only 1,120 pounds. So even that federal sticker saying 1,550 was really only 1,120 pounds was the
just looking at your picture and not trying to interrupt, but to sort of encapsulate this story. The picture of the motor is beautiful, but gosh, it looks low, Linda, Ken. It looks, at least to me, it looks really low.
Yeah, it was. That the frame was only, the springs and frame were only about 2 inches apart, so that's hanging really low. There's a lot of things I could get into, under other issues. We had major gas leaks and water leaks, and the propane lines got caught between the frame and the springs and cut it in 5 different places.
Oh my God.
The first time. The second time that we had a propane leak, and they put all new hoses in, they drove a screw through the sidewall that went into a propane hose. And twice.
But going back to I know that there are other issues, but the main thing that you started this saying that weight was your deal breaker. You had to be able to carry 2,000 pounds. What did Nexus say when you approached him and said, hey, what's the deal here? What'd they tell you?
When we seen the sticker that said 1,550 and didn't include full water, you go from there.
Yeah, I noticed the sticker and it said did not have water. And I said, hey, hon, I said, it doesn't include the water. And we were working with one of the technicians at the time. He was showing us how the RV operates. And he said, no, it doesn't. And I said, well, it's supposed to. So we got a hold of our salesman, and he came over, and I said, this isn't acceptable. This is not what we wanted. I said, you promised us 1,550 with full water. So he says, well, just a minute, I'll talk to the owner of the company. So he came back about an hour later and said, no, it does not include water, but it does include four people at 154 pounds. That's already included. So I asked him, well, then 300 pounds and added to the 1550, and he said yes. So then we kind of just dropped it at that point. But during the night, we just kind of looked at each other and said, something's not right, because everything's not adding up. They keep changing their story on how we're supposed to get this 2,000 pounds.
So we took it to the CAD scale that next morning. For people that don't know what that is, it's just a truck weighing system.
Right.
We took it there and got it weighed, and I went in to pay it, and I came out and I was hanging my head down, and Linda said, "It's overweight, isn't it?" And I looked at her and I said, "It's 120 pounds over the GVWR, over the gross weight."
Oh.
Only with full water, and only with Linda and I, and now you see how big we are, only with us in there and our 16-pound dog, we were 120 pounds over gross vehicle weight. So we go back to Nexus with that, and we ended up talking to production manager, and they reweighed it. You know, we had to empty out all the tanks, and they reweighed it the next day. And then he said, "I can't talk to you about it. They wouldn't show us how much it weighed on their scales." So he said, "You're going to talk to our owner, our CEO." So we met with him about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and told him it was unacceptable. Those numbers, I said, that we're going to get pulled over. We're going to be overweight. I think there's 6 states now that are actually giving you big fines for that kind of thing. And, different states do different ways. But I said that it holds about half of what we wanted, what we were promised, what we signed for, what we paid for. And he said, "It's only a number. It's only a number on there. It don't mean anything." And I said, "If it don't mean anything, go change it. It's a federal sticker. It don't mean anything," he says. And this is the owner of the company. And so anyway, we got in a little bit heated discussion. He said we had buyer's remorse because, they had one there that was $50,000 more than ours. And, once we seen that, we wanted that, not ours. That was nothing to do with it. It was all about the weight issue. So we walk out kind of fast. We're upset. We're hurting. We don't know what to do. We paid all that money, and on the way out, he speeds up and gets right behind me, and he yells. Oh, I was a little bit in front of Linda, and he yells out, "Mr. Smith, watch what you say, because I have more lawyers than you could ever afford."
Oh,
and I was quite upset with that. In that meeting we had with him, he intimidated us, and then he says that at the end. And I'm thinking, where was little Wisconsin people, elderly people, I hate to say that.
So hang on.
Vietnam veteran with 2 Purple Hearts. And I said, "You're treating me like that." And he says, "Now you're pulling the veteran thing on me." I said, "No." I said, "You're not giving us what we paid for."
Oh my God. Okay, so you at some point you knew there was a stalemate here. They didn't offer anything to try to help you to resolve the situation.
No.
What were you asking for? Did you ask for a resolution?
Yes, we did. We even offered him, while we were sitting there, $25,000 more for another rig, another RV that had a bigger chassis, an engine that could handle the weight. And they wouldn't have lost money. But he refused it. The only thing he offered, he says, "Well, I can try to sell yours on consignment. After we just were 2 days old, we'll sell yours on consignment."
Unbelievable. Okay, so you decided your only recourse is to find a good lawyer, right?
Yep. Yes.
And that was. Hang on, folks. This was 4.5 years ago. This did not happen yesterday. The Smiths, you guys have been after this for a long time. You should have been RVing for 4.5 years instead of.
Yeah, we had it for like 3 months, and won't even bring up the other issues with all the gas leaks and stuff. But we went on one short trip to South Dakota, and that was our second gas leak. Came back, and that's when we got a hold of. I did some research, a lot of research, and found Mr. Ron Burge, best lemon law attorney in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, in the United States, maybe the world. And they came to our rescue. I wrote up about a 3-page thing of everything that happened. We document. The thing you have to do is document everything you do. All your emails, Anytime you talk to somebody, date, time, names, what was said. You can't legally record somebody, so we didn't do that. But we
Ken,
did document
that?
everything always,
Ken,
and that saved us because we could put this story together and send it to Mr. Burge. He looked at it and says, "I'll take your case."
Well, let me ask you this, Ken.
That was 4 years.
You're a great storyteller. You're doing most of the talking. But
4 years.
I think we're getting a little bit of a drop. Can you guys hear me?
The only thing we have is retirement money, and I get. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I was going to ask,
me?
how important was this documentation to really document your story, the entire process when you finally, I mean, you went to trial. It wasn't like you settled out of court or something. You went to trial with a jury there in Indiana, right?
Right, yes, correct.
What was it, Linda, what was that like? Was it scary? Was it, I don't know, you ever been to court before? What was it like going into a courtroom with these big, powerful attorneys from Nexus, and you're this little old couple from Wisconsin?
Well, it was intimidating, all right, but we kept excellent documentation. I had a 4-inch binder with all the emails, the answers, the questions, their responses, our responses back. And it just so clearly showed that we wanted to solve this problem. We didn't want it to go to court, but that's the only option that we had. We had tried several different ways to settle this before it even went to court. And yeah, it was very intimidating with all their lawyers, and they're all dressed up in their fancy suits, and you got the jurors listening to you and watching every single word that you say. So you had to be very careful, but we had the truth on our side. And all you have to do is remember, you don't have to remember lies. You just have to state what happened, because that was the truth.
Right. You didn't have to make up stuff. You just told the truth. You didn't have to remember 3-4 years ago. Remember, folks, that we paid $1,000 a month, and it's 54 months now. That's $54,000 plus $1,000 every year for 4 years, going on 5, for insurance and license plates. And so we had a lot of money. We still have a lot of money tied up into it. And we won the court case.
We got about 2 minutes. We're gonna try to wrap this thing up, but you won the court case. So there will be some kind of a settlement. We don't need to go into that. What is the takeaway from this, Linda and Ken? What's the takeaway that you would advise other people that are considering doing what you did, whether it's a custom, built motorhome or not? What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is you have to be patient. You have to let it work its way through court. If you can't come up with any kind of agreement ahead of time, it takes a long time just to get through court. You have to just be patient, and you have to just keep in touch with your lawyer. Our lawyer was excellent in helping us through this process, and just documentation, and save everything.
The other thing is, know what you're dealing with weight. Know how much you're going to take with you. Start weighing things that you would take with you, so you have some idea when you go buy your RV. And folks, buy your RV from a reputable RV place, like was mentioned on this station here.
Yeah.
Someone that you can trust. And when the yellow sticker says it can carry that much weight, and if it's enough for you, then that's what you buy.
Okay, another question. Did this whole experience make you hate RVing, or is it still something that you would love to do if the opportunity presented itself?
No, we're still hoping to get through it, go RVing in addition to this. Obviously, with the COVID, it was kind of hard, but it's nice to get out and just be by yourself. We met several people in the years that we've done this, and they're some of our best friends, and they're from Florida, they're from Alabama, just all over the place. Yeah. It's fun meeting them in different campgrounds. So no, we're gonna pick up RVing again. We're just glad that it is settled, and hopefully soon it will be finalized.
Yeah. Well,
one more thing. The part of the settlement is we're waiting on an answer from the judge that there's a possibility we might get triple the amount that the jury gave us. Because of the lying to us and the deception, and the fact that we're of elderly age and a veteran.
Yeah,
and that's Indiana law.
I noticed your cap there, and thank you for your service, Ken, very much. And you guys, you should be living your dream instead of having a nightmare. But it sounds like maybe good times are ahead. I certainly hope they are. Congratulations on your win, and thank you for sharing your story. I know you were very fortunate to pick a good lawyer. That's for sure.
Thank you.
So
we highly recommend him.
Yeah. Well, I don't get anything for recommending him except the peace of mind knowing that I've directed people to somebody I think that can be trusted. All right. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck to you guys. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye now. What an ordeal, right? Well, I want to close with this. This story is, folks, this story is the exception. It is the exception, it is not the rule. Most RVs are not junk. I don't care what anybody tells you, they are not lemons. They aren't. Most manufacturers, the ones that I know, they're actually pretty good people, and they will own their mistakes. Very few of these cases actually go to trial. This one did. Thank God for Ken and Linda Smith that it went their way. But the moral of the story is check your weight and make sure you know what you're carrying, what you're able to carry safely and legally, and document your records. These people had a 4-inch binder, they said, of all the records just in case something happens. But I hope that this will serve as a warning to do your homework. I don't want to scare you away from RVing. This is a warning to document everything, do your homework. Try and always take the high road if there is a problem. If you do have to, as I say, you got to roll around the dirt, make sure you got a badass RV lemon lawyer, not somebody that just, does wills or divorces or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But you got to find somebody that knows how to fight the fight if you are in the right. So next week, we're going to try to have the actual lawyer on that was working with Ken and Linda. We're going to get his perspective, and that is our badass lemon lawyer, Ron Burge. He is a super smart guy. By the way, we want to know how I got the nickname, the RV Wingman. You want to know that? Well, it's by doing stories just like this one. I love doing these kind of stories, but maybe you don't like to hear them. If you like hearing stories like this, they're not always bad, but like hearing stories like this, let us know in the comments. If you don't like these stories, post those comments as well. Let us know either way if you would.